So hello, Jill. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me today for Hydrogen in 3. Obviously, I know who you are, and most of the people watching this probably do. I just wondered if you could give a little introduction about who you are, what you do, and sort of what your background is. Yeah, take it away.
Well, thanks for having me here today. I'm Jillian, Evanko, CEO and President of Chart Industries. At Chart Industries, we are designers and manufacturers of cryogenic processes and equipment. So what that really means is we hit a variety of different molecules for storage, transport, and processing of those molecules, as well as end use. And what that allows us to do is serve a variety of different energy end markets, ranging from LNG to hydrogen to biogas, and the list goes on. So we sit really right in the middle of that value chain, regardless of what the energy, power, or fuel source is.
Nice. Thank you. And I guess, you touched on it a little bit there, but 2021 was particularly the year where we saw hydrogen come to the fore. And a lot of people in the industry will anticipate that trajectory continuing. What role do you see hydrogen specifically playing in our, goal to reach the net zero targets?
I think hydrogen is a critical part of reaching the 2030 as well as the 2050, 2060 carbon emission reduction targets that are out there, both in the public and the private sector. In particular, one of what we like to say, and I think is really important, is that there isn't going to be one answer in the energy transition and destination. But I do see hydrogen becoming an increasingly larger proportion of the total pie. And that's really for the right applications, in particular, heavy duty transport and above. So that can be Class 8 over the road trucking all the way through to trains. And we also see it as, given the abundance of the molecule itself, a variety of different ways that you can handle, move, store hydrogen, which makes it increasingly a good answer in this journey to cleaner and greener. I also think that there's stopovers on the way. And what I mean by that is we're not going to go from where we are today to everything being green hydrogen overnight. So having a practicality or pragmatism to that approach is going to be important to getting there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that versatility that you speak of as well is very important, with hydrogen being a bridge, as a lot of people, describe it as. And I think this year and last year, including for companies like yours, we've seen a lot of investments and partnerships, MOUs. In your opinion, what do you think is the main positive that hydrogen would bring, and what do you think is the real challenge that hydrogen will see in the sector?
So I'm going to start with the challenge, and the challenges have evolved, interestingly enough, even over the last 2 years. At the outset, 2019-ish, when things started getting more active in the space, we were seeing discussions around public perception of safety with respect to hydrogen. And now we're really talking about cost and scale. And what I would say is, I think the biggest challenge and hurdle around innovation is we have to make sure that the things that you do in your day-to-day life today with diesel, or fill your vehicle with gas, and that happens in 2 or 3 minutes. So how do we make sure that you can fill a hydrogen vehicle in that same amount of time so that your life continues as conveniently as you know it today? And then from a positive perspective, I think that innovation, the same exact thing, that's the challenge, is the positive side, because there is a ton of innovation. And as you described, the partnerships, the MOUs, that's really contributing to progress. I'm a firm believer that what you see today in technologies for handling the molecule, processing the molecule, so the production end of the value chain, those are not going to be the technologies that get us there, that get us to these targets. And so innovation early is happening now, and I'm really pleased. And I think that's going to be how we get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, we've seen Chart Industries be the leader, in a lot of sensors for cryogenics and LNG storage, that kind of thing, for people who follow the market. What role do you see Chart in particular playing in developing the hydrogen value chain, specifically, I guess, in 2022 and then beyond that?
Well, we've definitely seen a movement from gaseous hydrogen to the utilization of both gaseous and liquid hydrogen,
Yeah.
and we're certainly differentiated in the liquid value chain, so that's somewhere that we'll continue to play. We continue to stay pretty far ahead in terms of that technology piece of handling liquid hydrogen. And so our goal will be to continue to get more efficiencies in the process technology of
Yeah.
liquefaction plants and liquefaction modules. We also, we're seeing a variety of different, and this is really to your part of your question on 2022, we're seeing a variety of sizes of those liquefaction plants. So historically, it was kind of 10, 12, 15 tons per day. And now it's 22 and a half, 30, in some cases, 50, 60 ton per day plants. So making sure that handling those with the efficiencies that are needed for liquefaction is top of mind for our R&D group. And then going forward, where we'll continue to play is bringing kind of first of a kinds to the market with our partners. You saw that recently where we did successfully test our liquid hydrogen onboard vehicle tank with Ballard Power's fuel cell. And our tank is agnostic to the fuel cell, so that should be something that can help that cost and scale problem and challenge that I talked about earlier. So we'll continue to bring these first of a kinds to the market with the intent to be technology agnostic and customer agnostic, so that there's pieces and parts and choices for the customers that are heavily spending their time in the hydrogen industry and economy.
Excellent. Yeah. I think as a company, you seem to be very well placed, in terms of innovating on that side. So I wish you all the best with that, Jillian, and everyone at Chart. And thank you very much for speaking with me today. It's a pleasure. And yeah, all the best to you and all the best to Chart in the near future.
Well, thank you to you, and thank you to all of the Chart teammates that we have. They're fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All the best, Jill.
Thank you.